Hi everybody, I'm Red Hill Eagle and welcome to Hope and Glory. This is a brand new TEW2020 series. I'll be playing as a fictional company called PLW, that's Premier League Wrestling. This is a local to global and I'm using the 1992 mod to do it. We're based in the UK and Ireland, and I've got to say, first of all, I've been inspired really by French Ted. Apparently he's not French. Well, I know he's not French. I've seen his videos, I've heard his voice. Um, but there are some other great videos out there that I watch a lot of. There's Wrestle Blake, of course, B Shooter 94, Auspicious Aussie. That's one going way back actually, but he did a brilliant local to global. But yeah, I've been inspired to do a local to global. They seem to be kind of trending at the moment, and I realise there is already a local to global currently being produced using the 92 database, but mine's going to be different. I'm basing it in the UK. I am starting the game, let's call this 1992 local to global. I'm starting the game with absolutely nothing. Nothing. No money, no pop, no momentum, no prestige, just absolutely zero. I'll take you through everything when we get there. I might just skip this if I don't finish talking before we get to the main pages. I already have in mind our user creator. That's kind of the only thing I've done. Obviously, I've created my company as well because it's a local to global, so I've had to put them in the database before the game. Other than that, I know nothing about this database. I don't know how many UK-based wrestlers we're going to be able to get on the cheap, because starting off as insignificant, we're going to need to do things on the cheap. If you've seen any of my videos before, you might have a rough idea about how I like to book, but I'm sure I will repeat myself several times as we go through the game. The first episode really will just be, I think I'll just stick to hiring our roster, and then we'll sort of kick off properly with the second episode. So I'm going to start off with as Steve Logan, because he's English. He's a road agent, so I wanted someone who's a non-wrestler. I would have preferred possibly a personality, someone who can kind of introduce our shows and that sort of thing. But it's where we are, so be it. I mean, he couldn't be a personality anyway, really, with a microphone rating of 33. But we're going to start off with him, and we're going to leave it as default. And our user talents, I kind of always go for this kind of thing. Now, negotiating, I normally put 7, but I'm going to stick to 6 because, yeah, I mean, it's not going to make a lot of difference, insignificant, because if someone wants $40 a show, they're unlikely to go down from that at all. And hopefully, if things go well, we start making money, negotiating won't be so much of an issue. Motivating, I normally leave it about 5 or 6 as well. Let's stick that at 6 and see where we go. Creativity, I like to be relatively high, probably the highest actually, so hopefully things like gimmicks will go well. Now, leadership and diplomacy, I have these quite low. Now, this could be a big risk. In fact, I'm going to decrease motivating by 1 because I want silver tongue to be 6. Or do I? I'm just wondering. No, tell you what, let's leave that at 5. Let's increase that to 6. So yeah, I want things like gimmicks to do well. Sorry, I was saying about leadership and diplomacy. I'm going to try and only hire guys that aren't a problem backstage. So hopefully these won't come into it. I mean, they might, and now I've said that they probably will. But let's see how we get on. Yeah, so there we go with Steve Logan. So save that, play as this character, and we want him to be Premier League Wrestling. There's a little logo I created for it as well. Play as the owner. Yes, thank you very much. Right, let's kick off then. I'll just show you the products. Now, I've gone with Classic Sports Entertainment. Now, I know, yeah, WWE, the usual kind of, whatever, but it's what I'm used to booking. It's the product that I've only really watched wrestling early 90s, in fact 92 to about 94, late 94. Then I watched again from about 2002 to about 2003. So I I don't actually watch wrestling. I kind of keep up with what's going on. I read snippets. I listen to podcasts. But the industry, I'm fascinated by it. Behind the scenes, backstage, I'm fascinated by that, and that's why I'm drawn to games like this. But that's what I was used to. That's when I watched wrestling, that was kind of like the product really. When I was a kid, early 90s. So I won't take you through the product description. I do have face and heel loosely enforced because I think over the years it is possible to have some great matches that are face versus face. Maybe not so much heel versus heel, but it's possible. And I don't really want to get too much of a penalty for having face versus face. I won't have many of those, but they may well happen. They probably will happen at some points during my um, during this series. Match focus, free ring circus is just something I always have on, really. I mean, it's something we could fiddle about with maybe. And angle focus, type focus. Again, I just always sort of stick it on that one, so I'm not going to go too different from what I normally have. I won't be having a women's wrestling division yet. I don't usually do that anyway when I play. Nothing against women's wrestling. It's just my um, it's just the way I organise myself, and I just like to kind of stick to basics. At this small level as well, I won't even have a tag team division, and I don't usually have a cruiserweight either. Some things may change in this series. I might think, yeah, stuff it, let's go for it, let's do it, let's see how things pan out. Eventually, a women's division is on the cards, maybe depending on where we are, who we can get in. As I say, at the moment, I don't even know what male wrestlers we're going to get in on a kind of small wage deals. So as you can see here, zero prestige, zero momentum, zero money, and our pop is zero all over the world. So first things first, really, we need to hire some people, and I usually go for road agents first, and we want to hire them. Can work in the British Isles. In fact, I'll see if I can preferably get people based in the British Isles. Road agent, yeah. So let's see. Let's go with unemployed first as well. Just see if there's anyone there. I mean, again, we're looking at this wage really. 900 is way too much. 100 more than I wanted, but we might just have to pay that for a road agent. He can wrestle as well, but I probably won't do that. He's pretty good at technical though, and stamina's alright. It's not great, but he's 47, so maybe we can do bits and pieces with him. But my road agents, I usually just, even at this small level, I usually just stick to you're a road agent, you're a road agent. If you're a referee, you're a referee. If you're a manager, you're a manager. If you're a personality, you're a personality. I don't usually have too many people have more than one role. Maybe we'll do things a bit differently. I'm going to offer this guy a contract. I mean, I'm tempted just to have him. No, do you know what? Let's have him as a wrestler as well. Because, let's see if I can go 90. Actually, do you know what? Let's see if I can get him for 80. Travel costs are not covered. He's going to want travel costs though, isn't he? Right, reduced. Well, we're only going to have events anyway at the moment. He wants 90. Okay. And we're not covering his travel either. I'm pleased with that. 700's too much. 230. Yeah, too much really. Okay, so maybe we can't be looking at the unemployed in too much depth. There's another one there for only 100, but he's got a lot of employers. Yeah, okay, we're gonna struggle a little bit. Mind you, my character's a road agent as well. So I'll tell you what, we'll just stick with, who was the guy we offered? Mel Stewart. Yeah, okay. We're only going to have sort of 3 matches per show at the beginning anyway, to save on money. The very first show we'll probably have 4, and I'll tell you why soon. So here's our road agent. Hopefully he'll sign a referee. Can we get a referee that's got at least 60? Let's try and get unemployed again. 80 per show. 60 per show. Got to sign him as a referee. Can we get him for 50? Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, even if I'd negotiating at 10, I don't think they're going to go. He's only getting 60 as it is. Is he really going to accept 50? I mean, it's like, come on, man, just give me that extra 10. So exclusively as a referee, yeah, let's get him in. And I think we'll get a second referee in as well. This guy wants 80, so I might better push him down because it's a little bit more. Get him in as a referee. Nah, see, he wants the full 80. Okay. Then we are looking for. We don't need announcers or colour commentators. It'd be nice to get a personality, maybe even two in. Take the referee in off. Let's see if we can get anyone who's got some decent microphone skills. This might be where we're going to struggle actually, because they're all way too expensive. Okay, let's do that. See if we can get. They're still really expensive. Okay, anyone who's only got 50 microphones, really not what I wanted, but I think we've got to get at least one person in who can be a personality, to someone who can introduce the shows at the start. It just adds realism. I know we don't need it. He's with the ASW, no, sorry, the RWS. He's with the RWS. So let's see, when do they have their shows? Because I'm thinking I would probably have my shows on a Saturday, week 4, but I could go Friday. I always like to have week 4, and I usually go Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So we'll have our shows on a Friday. So yeah, let's get this guy in as a personality. I know he can wrestle as well. He's a bit young. Yeah, get him in as a personality. I know he's not the best, but well, there we go. Oh, Jerry Humperdinck. It's only $30 as well. He's unemployed. See, it would be nice to get a woman in though, just to kind of mix things up. No, I don't think we're gonna. Let's go with Jerry. Or should we just have the one? Just have Flash Barker to start with. I just think sometimes it's nice to have someone to bounce off of. No, we'll just stick with Flash Barker because save money. We don't need managers at this level. They're definitely something I will want to have eventually. Okay, take the microphone skill off. Now I want people who are middleweight. Again, anyone who's watched any of my previous series, that they haven't lasted very long, but I've got a couple out there. I don't usually sign people that are smaller than middleweight unless they're really good. Or I might hire them, but I won't push them again unless they are exceptional. I just believe in kayfabe. I just believe in realism. I just don't believe that someone like Daniel Bryan could beat the Big Show in a wrestling match. That's not to, again. That's not to say I don't sign lightweight wrestlers, but if they're going to be the world champion, they're going to have to beat people that are big guys, big wrestlers, tough guys, muscle. I know you can talk all you want about, oh, well, will he wore him down and blah blah blah. No, if you're in a real fight, Daniel Bryan in a real fight, Rey Mysterio in a real fight, would not beat someone like the Big Show or Brock Lesnar or the Undertaker. No. So we can argue about that if you like down below, but I probably won't join in. That's the way I book, and that's it. So yes, cheap people. 130 is probably a bit too much. We want 40. There we go. Andre Baker. He's going to be hopefully our first signing. Certainly our first contract offer. He's going to want pay. Yeah, of course he is. The wrestlers I think are going to want to be covered on their travel costs. Okay, well 40 is pretty cheap. We want more people like that. 60. If his stamina was better, I mean he's 48, but if his stamina was better, because he's half decent, I'll shortlist him, but I can't see me signing him at all really. 90, a bit more than I would have wanted to pay, but he's not awful and his stamina's pretty good. Again, 45, maybe a bit on the older side, but he could do a job for a few months for us, maybe. Let's see if we can pull him down to 70. Events only. He wants 80. Okay, we've got him down 10. Knocked him down by 10. 1,000, no way. There's another 90. Now, I'm not going to be able to afford too many of these. I really was looking for the cheapest of the cheap, but, like I say, I've not looked at this database, certainly not for these kind of, this level of wrestler, so I don't know what is out there. I mean, we can probably get him for 80, but I was really hoping for a roster full of just people who are going to charge 30, 40. Stamina 62, it's not great. Shortlist him. I mean, I'm looking for much cheaper guys now. Is it? Oh, Flash Barkley's going to be our personality, isn't he? I could bring him in as a wrestler as well, but I think at 23, no. 60. Yeah, he's good. Stamina's not brilliant. I think really though, if he's only asking for 60, I think we've got to bring him in, haven't we? I mean, 100, it's more than I wanted to pay. I mean, I'm not happy with paying 80 really, but no, 100 I can't. I mean, I shortlist him maybe. Even at 140 a show, shortlist him. But, for a few months' time, maybe when we hopefully are making a bit of money, we might be able to look at some guys that are a little bit more expensive. Bit young at 25, but he's only asking for 60. I think it's a no-brainer to bring him in. He just won't be our champion that young. 50, Lewis Blaine. Okay, yeah. At 25, another young one again. But okay, needs must. Mel Stewart, we've got hopefully getting in. 21 years old. I just don't want. I don't want too many young people, because I also believe, again, this is the way I like to book. I like wrestlers to have. I don't like too many multiple reigns. I don't like 10-time world champions. 15-time world champions, because if you've won it 15 times, it means you've also lost it 14 or 15 times. So I prefer longer, short reigns. If I'm going to get a guy in at the age of 21 and he gets really popular, by the age of 25, you're going to be my champion. So unless he's going to be champion for a good 10 years, in 10 years he's still only going to be 35, right? He's at his peak. He's at his peak and he's already been champion for 10 years. Or I have a reasonable, half-decent reign of, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years. In which case, he's lost it at the age of 27, and he'll win it again, and he'll win it again. And then by the time you've even thought about it, he's a 10-time world champion, which I don't want. Now, I know that's probably just me being a little bit OCD about it, and a little bit worrying a little bit too much about it. And in fact, our first title probably won't be a world title. We'll have something like something like the South London Championship or something we'll call it, because I mean we're Southern England, so I'm kind of thinking we're probably based in London or just outside London, and I'm not too far away from South London, so maybe something like the South London Championship, so maybe it won't be as bad. Or we could just keep the title away from him. I mean, I'm getting a bit desperate really, because I don't think we're going to have many people we can hire. Pete Collins, 31, see, that's more like it. He's decent. 70. Pete Lepac, 70. Maybe a tad more than I would have wanted to pay, but I'm already paying a couple of. He's available on the Friday. I'm already paying a couple at 80. Alright, he's 45. What's his stamina like? 56. I might not be able to get much out of him. Alright, okay. too expensive. Another 50 there. Richie Brooks, 28. Yeah, okay. Just check. Yeah, alright. We'll get him in. That's a good age. Could be looking at being our champion in 3 or 4 years' time, maybe. 60. Rolo Brazil. Maybe a bit too old. Stamina. 68 isn't bad though for a guy of his age. 60. Alright. Might be able to do bits and pieces with him. Whoops, don't want to do that. 60. Steve Linsky, we're already getting in as a wrestler. 17. I didn't realise. I didn't notice that when I hired him as a ref. Steve Morocco, 23. Another really young one. All right. Okay, I'm kind of coming out of my comfort zone a little bit, but that's not a bad thing. Steve Quintain. Yep, get him in. I mean, the other good thing, or one of the good things at the moment, is I'm not paying a downside. So I could hire, 50 wrestlers. I'm only going to pay for the ones that are on the show. So, we can judge it. We can try and look at, I mean, I probably won't, but I'll say I will, judge it and see what we're paying. Stevie Knight, 15, that's way too young, 15. Yeah, I mean, I'll shortlist him because definitely one for the future. Tommy Stewart, 33. He's pretty good. Stamina, 78. That's good. Athleticism, I mean, he's not great in ring, but we are an insignificant company. Literally, all we need to do is get show ratings of 1 or above, and we'll be alright. So that looks like that's it. We'll have a look at lightweight. I'll have a look at lightweight, and I'll just kind of see what there is. Again, cheap people, 50. Bosberry, 21. Shortlist. I mean, someone like him, I don't know, we might be able to talk him into going up a size in a few years, maybe. Jerry Finch. He wants 90. He's 30 years old. I mean, he's not exceptional, but again, we can keep him away from our world title, or as I have already said, probably won't have a world title yet. I mean, he's not brilliant in ring, but again, I probably expect him to be a bit better than that, though, wanting 90. Oh, look. Let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, I could regret all this, but Jason Cross, 17. We'll shortlist him. Paul Tyrrell, 14. I don't think so, but again, shortlist him. All these people in a few years' time might be half decent. Spinner McKenzie, 24. Stamina's only 69. I say only, it's not awful, but it's not, 24 years old. I don't know, I just kind of expect him to be a bit fitter than that. Let's get him in though. 40 a show. He can do bits and pieces. Okay, so that's contracts offered. So I am going to fast forward a couple of days and see if we can sign any of these guys. So we've got some decisions here. Only a few. Okay. Well, we've signed them, and then let's skip ahead another couple of days and see if we can hopefully get a few more. Okay, another couple of days have passed. Is that the rest of them? Yeah, that's everyone. Right. So, have a quick look at the roster. I don't want people with 2 roles, especially with wrestler and occasional wrestler. I mean, what does that even mean? Got a referee there. We wanted him in as our personality. It's a shame that some of these guys haven't got photos. I might try and find something, but if they don't have photos, it's probably because there's nothing out there. He's kind of a really unknown guy in the UK. Oh, was I going to have him as both? What did I offer him in the contract in the end? I think I did a road agent only, didn't I? No, I didn't. I had him as both. Alright, yeah, well, I'm out of my comfort zone already with this save, so Let's have him with both. Take that one off him. Richie Brooks, take that one off him. I mean, I can't say I've heard of any of these guys actually. I mean, there's a couple of names I recognise. Andre Baker, but only really through the game, not through wrestling. Spinner McKenzie and Steve Logan I have heard of, and Steve Linsky, but I think Steve Logan and well, actually, yeah, all of them probably just through the game rather than actual kind of real life. Right, so that's them all sorted. So I just want to have a quick look. How many wrestlers do we actually have? In ring roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. 16. Okay. Okay, that's reasonable. I mean, there's a few on there that again I'm paying a little bit more than I would like to really, but we'll work around it. I just want to see heel babyface, kind of half and half. Yeah, that'll do. That's quite nice. I won't touch gimmicks. I mean, we do need gimmicks and stuff, but I won't touch them. I'll leave them as they are. One thing I do want to do is just go here, and I'm going to turn off strict storylines. And I'll tell you why. I do this when I'm playing a local to global. When I'm an insignificant company, we're so small. We're playing in you know we're wrestling, putting on shows in someone's back garden or like a tiny village hall, right? So we might not have the same audience week on week. So how are they going to follow stories? How are they going to follow? You know, they might not. You know, let alone remember what happened last week. They might not even know what happened last week. You know, these shows aren't being recorded. They're not on TV. I know you can say, oh well, you know, we recorded them on a home video and sold the VHSs. I know you can make up all that kind of stuff, but no. I introduce stories when we have a regular audience, people who are going to watch every week. You know, when most of the audience are going to watch every week. So, in other words, a TV deal. So I disable that until we get a TV deal. So I'm ready now to... No, I'm not. I was going to skip a few days, but what we need to do first, we actually need to set up our event. Now I'm only going to call it something basic. PLW South London. I'll tell you what we'll call it. We'll call it South London Premier South London Wrestling. Something really basic, tiny little show. Be an hour long. Monthly, we'll have a monthly show on Fridays, week 4. Tickets are going to be free. I know, massive risk. I played through a local to global a while ago. I didn't get too far, but that's not through failure. I just stopped playing. Free tickets, and although it's slow, it's you do gain pop quicker, and it actually doesn't take long for that sponsorship money to start coming in, and eventually it snowballs and snowballs, and you start making money. I started off with in that particular save. I started off with 10,000, and that's too much. When I say it was too much, I don't think I even got into debt. So I was turning around. So I kind of want it. I want it to be a challenge, but I want it to be something that I know I can get out of. So we'll be in debt the first few months, but hopefully, depending on what the economy is doing and the state of the business, I mean, okay, that's not great for us, but the economy is rising. Okay, well, we'll see. I mean, bit nervous seeing that. If they were both falling, I'd think no way. But okay, well, let's just see. Let's just see how we get on. Right, yes, so now I am ready, I suppose, to... I just hope I'm not forgetting something. I want to have a title, don't I? So, the PLW South London Heavyweight. I know we could pin a town to it, you know, like call it the, I don't know, what's somewhere in South London. Call it the Wimbledon Heavyweight Championship or something. I know we could do that, but let's just keep it a little bit vague. South London heavyweight. Don't want to change any other settings really. What I'll do as well in the first show, I'll have a tournament for the title. We'll have two semi-finals and the final. We'll have another match in between the last semi-final and the final, so one wrestler isn't working two matches straight after each other. Yeah, so I'm going to go away and do that now, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what I've done. Okay, so I've gone with Bill Clark versus Steve Morocco and Lewis Blaine versus Steve Quinton in the semi-finals, and I'm gonna have Bill Clark win it in the end against Lewis Blaine. I'll show you why. I don't mind showing you all this. I know it's behind the scenes, it's spoilers, but this is a playthrough. I'm showing you how I do it. We're kind of I'm gonna get ideas from you guys, and pitch in with some booking ideas, and that's what I want it to be. I don't want it to be one of those series where you don't see anything behind the scenes and you just get the results. I've done those kinds of series before. I might do them again, but on this occasion, I'm doing it this way. So Bill Clark, the reason I went for him, Southern England, his popularity is 30, right? So that's good. He's probably our most popular guy, actually. Now I know he's probably he's on the higher end of the wage spectrum, but he's also got stamina of 73, right? So he can go. So yeah, and I had Lewis Blaine. He's going to beat Lewis Blaine in the final. So Bill Clark's a heel. Lewis Blaine is a face, and Lewis Blaine also got decent stamina. So we're going to have a decent final there. I think hopefully. Again, it doesn't really matter at this stage. We just need a show rating of 1 or above. But it's nice to have. It's still nice to put on decent matches, right? So that's the way that's going to go down. I'm going to call an end to the first episode here. We've hired all our people, we've set up a tournament for the championship, and we have set up our title, we've set up our monthly event. I also wanted to show you as well that all our kind of merchandise is ramshackle, and our production. I should have showed you this at the beginning really, but literally everything is bottom. We don't have any. I mean, we wouldn't even be able to afford any better behind the scenes. I don't know what you'd call these, but production values and all that kind of thing. We wouldn't even be able to afford them. But I just wanted to show you for transparency. We are starting off as low as you possibly can. So yeah, I'm going to call this episode to a close. I hope you've kind of enjoyed this one. I know it's not the most exciting, but as I say, it's kind of just a setup really. Got all our guys, got everything set for episode 2, which will be our first show, and we crown our champion. Please like and subscribe, and leave any comments below. I'll probably do a couple of episodes in bulk and then upload them, so any comments you put for this show I probably won't see for another 2, 3 or 4 episodes down the line, but I'll try to kind of keep up to some extent and hear your ideas and everything. So take care everybody, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.